Good afternoon, to each and every one of you once again. I'm here to discuss with you my second article to the book. And I call this one, Don't Give Up and Never Give In. Let me say that before I get too deep off into this subject, that it in no type of way is meant to offend or tear someone down, but totally just the opposite. And that it is to uplift the addicted, afflicted, abused, and misused. Let me ask all of you something. Do you ever wonder to yourselves from time to time, how did I wind up like this? Or say, why did this have to happen to me? Now, I'm pretty sure that we all have at some appointed time in our life. Now, not meaning to sound insensitive or uncaring about individuals that have or are currently going through this, but for some people it's usually the same typical excuse that you hear so very often. For instance, my mother and father wasn't there for me when I was growing up. Therefore, the street life was all I had to embrace, teach, and guide my paths along the way while I was growing up. Well, with all due respect, let me first say that my heart goes out to you, and I sincerely mean that. Because by not experiencing this personally myself, not me nor anybody else can even come close to imagining just what all you must have gone through. Also, not just as a child, but even if you're still burdened and stricken with this as an adult. I guess some of us that have been fortunate enough to have been raised by both of our parents really just don't realize just how lucky we are to have had that. In our case, our father was a minister and kept a close guard on all of our whereabouts. But not all of the time, though. That is, at least when it came to me. Because somehow, in some way, I would find a way to loosen that tight grip that I felt that at the time while growing up was like a noose around my neck. But I thank God, and as I've gotten older, I have become more and more grateful for being raised by parents who lived by morals and standards as well as principles also. To those that didn't have this, please hear me when I say don't give up and never give in. Because even though it may seem to you that the odds are against you to succeed, then as long as you have life in you and have survived the hardest of times during your childhood years, then the wise thing to do would be to trust in God and have faith and the courage to believe that He can and will guide your every step of the way. I mean, why not try Him? Because truly, I'm sure the streets can't have taught you much positivity, or if any at all. But I bet it did teach you such things as how to hustle, lie, steal, cheat, panhandle, etc. Stop deceiving yourself. That route only leads to one thing and one thing only, and that is total chaos and self-destruction. It's not about what you have done in your past anymore, because that has already been recorded into history, where it shall stay forever. But instead, it's about where you intend to go now and turn things around for the better for yourself. Now, it won't be easy because you are going to run into a lot of stumbling blocks along the way, starting with those individuals that don't like or want change, not only for themselves, but also not even for you. Now, not trying to cut certain people that you love and care about out of your life, but sometimes change, especially for the better, can bring some drastic changes. That is, at least in the beginning. It will make you feel that way. But find a way to stay strong, regardless to what anybody else may have to think or say about it. But more importantly, continue to trust in God and say to yourself, especially when you start to feel vulnerable, and that is to don't give up and never give in. Because you want to know something? All of us are like precious jewels to our Heavenly Father. The only difference is some of our radiance is a little dimmer than others. But we all are still jewels in our Father's eyes just the same. In closing, I especially dedicate this issue to all of my people from various racial and ethnic backgrounds who are locked up. Keep your heads up and never doubt even for a split second that God isn't with you. Thank you.